The penultimate round of the FIM Sidecar World Championship heads to the oldest racing circuit in Germany. It's a visit to Schleiz for the Super Sides, in a circuit that runs in an anti-clockwise direction. Still classed as a road circuit, it is known to be tough on man and machine, and will be tough on the sidecar riders this weekend. The last round of the championship was also held in Germany at the Schleiz circuit, accompanying the Endurance World Championship. It will be a two-race event. The first, a sprint with overcast skies, but still very warm, with a large crowd gathered to watch as the Birchall brothers, Ben and Tom, won yet another race. The only threat to them, Pekka Päivärinta and Adolf Hani on the Team Suzuki Finland machine after they had got past Jörg Steinhausen and Ashley Hawes on the Steinhausen racing machine. The Birchall brothers win the sprint. Birchall Racing keeping up their title challenge in 2013. They will be back the next day, again starting from pole position for the gold race. That was restarted after red flags came out. Changed to a 14-lap second contest. Once again, the Birchall brothers starting from the top spot ahead of Steinhausen Racing and Team Suzuki Finland. And once again, they would pull away. Steinhausen Racing struggling in third place. Battle behind involving Hock Racing, but Birchall Racing out in front, taking a double win for the weekend at Schleiz ahead of Team Suzuki Finland and Steinhausen Racing. That leaves Pekka Päivärinta and Adolf Hani, Team Suzuki Finland, just in front in the overall standings. Steinhausen Racing in second and Birchall Racing in third. Off to Schleiz then for the penultimate round of the FIM Sidecar World Championship. Leading the way, Pekka Päivärinta and Adolf Hani on 146 points. They will need to keep up the good results. Plenty of teams closing in. And a home round for some of the riders, including Hock Racing.
We had some problems with the bike, with the chassis, but I think we found the problem, and the last practice was a very good practice for us. Now we are on fourth in the grid. And I think I can catch some points from the man in front of me, Mr. Grabmüller.
Schleiz is very hard to overtake the guys, and we are 10 people or 7 people. It's a hard race.
Plenty of home teams at this event, plenty of teams with experience of Schleiz from the German Championship. Birchall Racing, though, attempting to continue their winning run. The British team in action at Schleiz.
No, I think there's still room to improve. Päivärinta pushed us really hard in the last one, but you know, Ben had an answer for him, and he was just driving perfect at the minute, and everything's good with the bike and the team. So you know, we can hopefully find a bit more time, or you know, and bring a couple more wins home.
The championship leaders, Team Suzuki Finland, have been regular podium finishers. They are closing in on the title, but they have plenty of rivals around them.
Yeah, this is Schleiz. I'm driving many years Schleiz, and every time this is very difficult and very different, many different corner and very fast and very different, very hard walks passenger. And driver needed all the time think a little bit passenger. And hope passenger walk good. This is very dangerous and difficult place.
Team Suzuki Finland, the championship leaders, again in action at a place they were well familiar with. Virtual Racing take pole position once again ahead of Steinhausen Racing. Team Suzuki Finland also on the front row. In the second row, Hock Racing and Team SLR and Team Ströer and Polizei Sportverein Weltmotor put their bike onto the third row. It's going to be a tough race at Schleiz. The sprint race kicking off the action in the penultimate round of the World Championship. Virtual Racing ready to break from the front as they have done in recent rounds. They've won each of the last 4 races. On pole position, their rivals around them, Steinhausen Racing in second, and this team, Team Suzuki Finland, third on the grid. Steinhausen Racing unhappy with their performance at the recent round at Ossersleben. Looking to make amends at Schleiz. The nerves building on the starting grid. This be first of 2 races. This the shorter one, the sprint race. Coming up the gold race straight after. On board with Virtual Racing as they take the whole shot. Quickest off the line, Steinhausen Racing blocking off Team Suzuki Finland. And Virtual Racing again speeding to an early advantage. Steinhausen Racing in second place. On board once again with Virtual Racing. Ben Virtual in the driving seat. Tom, the passenger. And already a big gap established to the 2 behind them. Steinhausen Racing and Team Suzuki Finland. Steinhausen with a chance to regain some ground on Virtual Racing. Virtual Racing with an opportunity to overtake Steinhausen in the overall standings. Jörg Steinhausen and Ashley Hawes, the team in second place. But not for long, a run up for them going down the downhill section, one of the trickiest parts of the circuit and of the calendar. Not a good place to lose the brakes, which is exactly what happened to Steinhausen Racing. That sharp left-hand corner causing problems for Steinhausen Racing and allowing Team Suzuki Finland to move up the order. Steinhausen needing to make a comeback. They return to the track and try and chase down Team Hock, the team of Hock and Becker. Trying to overtake, plenty of lift on the corners. And the team Polizei Sportverein team starting from 10th place. Also looking to get ahead of Team Hock. Engaging in an entertaining battle for positions with the team ahead of them. The sprint race, a speedy sprint to the line. Team Suzuki Finland in second place. Virtual Racing escaping right from the whole shot. And taking the checkered flag, another win for Virtual Racing. Their winning run continues. After some initial problems in the season, Virtual Racing on top form. They win the sprint race ahead of Team Suzuki Finland.
Back on the podium. Only third, but it's okay. I'm very, very happy.
Hock Racing into third place, completing the rostrum.
Ein langes Pedal.
So Virtual Racing in first, Team Suzuki Finland in second, Hock Racing ahead of Steinhausen Racing in third and fourth respectively.
I'm very happy. I'm back on the podium. That's what I want. To beat the quickest three, I had to practice a little bit more. But after our aggression Rijeka, I think we are back. The bike is now nearly perfect, and now I only need track time, and so I come back on the podium, no problem.
Yeah, thank you. It's a hard race. The start is perfect. It's position 3, and then virtual gone, very fast pace, and Pekka drive very hard, come back to Steini and fight with him a little bit. Then Steini have a problem in the fast chicane and comes second position, and I'm very happy. Thank you.
Yeah, it's going good. We're on a roll. It's there's a lot of hard work gone into getting it here, by not only by us riding it, by everyone else behind us and supporting us. And I think championship's probably still a bit out of reach for us yet. But as long as we can keep winning races, we're doing our best to get to that. That's what our aim is. Yeah, just a great thanks to everyone.
Here is how the overall standings look. Team Suzuki Finland with another podium finish continue to lead the way. Steinhausen Racing in second. The Virtual Brothers, as they say, just off, but still not outside title contention. And they're on the top step of the podium at Schleiz for the sprint race, the gold race to come. A longer contest and a question of endurance. Second day of action at Schleiz. The sidecars with a second race of the weekend. This is the penultimate weekend of the 2013 season.
For the passenger is very, very hard and strong. For the driver the same. It's a very fast right in and the stone a little bit and then left, and when the ballast from the passenger is not correct, then it's big danger. And when the body is a little bit tired, 22 laps is long, and I hope so. I have a good feeling and my body is okay, but it's very, very hard. I think this is the hardest session in the World Championship.
It comes at a difficult circuit and after having competed in a sprint race.
Yeah, we've had a problem with the brake. Starting at lap 3, we were losing pressure, so I had to prepare each corner with pumping the brakes up to get accurate brake pressure, which was confusing me a little, of course. Our turn-in wasn't proper, so we lost a bit per lap. Well, to get a third place is not a big problem. To get further forward is in the moment our problem. As explained, often we suffer with handling problems. Although suspension works fine, we just can't enter corners quick enough. So we lose our time in the first part of the corners. And the bike on a straight line is very quick, no issues there. But we just have to upgrade our bike.
Steinhausen Racing with problems with their machine. Team SLR also struggling with a lack of materials.
Under the circumstances, so far this season for the whole World Championship, I've used 6 tyres. I've used the same engine and only changed one small gasket. So I think to be sitting 4th or 5th, wherever we are in the championship, it's going well, better than I expected, to be fair, so I'm quite happy with it so far.
Hock Racing returning to the podium in the sprint race, looking for the double in the gold race.
Nice weather, good conditions. Yesterday was the first step. I think today maybe we can finish on the podium again.
The gold race riders on the grid for the second contest of the weekend. Winners of the sprint race, Virtual Racing looking to do another double. Specialists at the longer events. Fatigue about to take its toll on the riders. Here's how they will start. Virtual Racing on pole again, ahead of Steinhausen Racing and Team Suzuki Finland. Hock Racing and Team SLR alongside them on the second row. The gold race will be a 22-lap contest, a test of endurance at Schleiz. The flag out, the riders and passengers ready to go. Virtual Racing getting off the line quickest, but Steinhausen getting in front by the first corner. Steinhausen Racing chasing down an improvement in positions, having said that they lack the power in their machine in the sprint race. They'd got ahead, but Virtual Racing retook the advantage. Steinhausen Racing right behind them. Is a closer few opening laps than in the sprint race, in which Virtual Racing took off and never looked back. Even closer behind Steinhausen Racing, Team Suzuki Finland, the championship leaders. Pekka Päivärinta and Adolf Hani had pinpointed fatigue as being a big issue for their team. Would they last the 22-lap race? There was a runoff early on from the number 7 team, Team Galern, consisting of Philippe Galern and Sander Faber. They would have to come into the pits to make a few adjustments before going back out on track. Tight battle behind Hock Racing. Again engaging in battle. Päivärinta and Hani hot on the heels of Steinhausen Racing and getting past Steinhausen. Establishing a gap of around a second as they looked for a second consecutive podium finish in second place. Problems for Team SLR. They ran off track. Scott Lorry saying how difficult this season had been in terms of getting parts. Problems for them in the early going, in the gold race. Virtual Racing taking a big lead. The status quo being resumed. They pick up the back markers. In the top spot, an advantage of around 19 seconds. And Politz by Sport Bahrain looking to move up the order as well. Team of Grabmuller and Wetzelsberger. Whether they would have to pull into the pits with a mechanical issue, allowing Hock Racing to move further up the order. The team of Kurt Hock and Enric Becker. Steinhausen Racing once again struggling to keep up with those ahead of them. Well behind Team Suzuki Finland, having taken the early hole shot. Virtual Racing setting a new lap record and taking a second victory of the weekend. They won the sprint race, they win the gold race. Dominant at Schleiz. Virtual Racing placing ahead of Team Suzuki Finland and Steinhausen Racing. The riders and passengers obviously exhausted after those 22 laps. Virtual Racing, though, overjoyed at the same time. Another victory for the brothers. Steinhausen Racing back on the podium, joining Team Suzuki Finland and Virtual Racing. That is the top three then. Virtual Racing, Team Suzuki Finland, Steinhausen Racing, behind them Hock Racing and KMW Kretzer.
No, I'm very disappointed. We lost the championship here. We had higher hopes for this weekend. Did a lot of work to the bike, and the bike was really brilliant the first step. Then unfortunately yesterday in the race, and we had brake problems which we solved. Bike was okay for the second race. I had a brilliant start leading. Of course the virtuals were a bit quicker, but we could go the pace of Pekka. And then somehow Ash received a leg injury, and we had to back off. So yeah, well, at least we finished third, but lost the championship too early.
No, racing is a difficult work. You must a good head, and all the time you can change the situation. You must listen what happened and can change. But when you see the point and this, you have maybe a strategy. But when this is not okay, you must good head, and you can change the situation, and you listen this, and it's perfect. And this is good weekend behind me. Thank you for the team and all this, and thank you for my good driver. And we will see what's happening in Le Mans. I hope so. It's a good race, and then it's a dream, a big dream in my heart.
Yeah, over at Moon, it's great to do a double win at any circuit, you know, and we did it at Oschersleben, and we managed to do it here again. And can't thank, you know, as always, our team enough. Andy Mitchell from Mitchell's of Mansfield supports us so much. And the Crescent Suzuki's going, you know, it's just flying well. It just gets better each time. Do a little bit more and a little bit more. And the Avon tyres just work perfectly. It's great, yeah.
The championship standings still have Team Suzuki Finland out in front. The slimmest of advantages, though, over Virtual Racing. Steinhausen Racing in third place. And those three teams occupying the podium. Virtual Racing once again victorious, once again doing the double. This time at Schleiz. The final round to come in the Sidecar World Championship. Who will claim the title? Double victory for Virtual Racing at Schleiz.